So this is one of my red Serpae tetras. There's him and one other like him that we call the Indian Chiefs. I believe I've got 11 in there, but these guys' fins, they've gotten much longer and I guess much more flamboyant than the rest of them, and they stand out a lot. I don't know whether it implies dominance among them, because he is one of the smaller ones, and if I'm not mistaken, with Serpaes and most other fish, the small ones tend to be the males. And there's the other one right there. Both of them have very, very large fins compared to the rest of the size of their body. Unlike most of the others who are a little bit more camera shy, their fins just aren't nearly as big. But anyways, an update on the tank. I have some water Sprite here in the front. I redid the Greek columns, and there's just still a bunch of hornwort. I've got some mondo grass here in the corner. If you've seen my tank before, the bottom is now mostly. I got rid of most of the upper gravel because of my cory cats. I don't want their barbels getting messed up. I had this crypt before. I added another one. The old one is filling out quite nicely, and the newest one already has some new sprouts. Back there in the back, I have something called Limnophila aromatica. It is eventually going to be a very beautiful, very tall plant, but it takes a little while. I filled out more of my dwarf onions along the back. I won't be buying any more. I'm just going to wait for them to propagate and thicken up a little bit. I've also lined the back of the tank with Java fern, and then got a nice big fat moss ball. Looks like an algae covered tennis ball. And then I've got some Java moss on my cathead driftwood. Then I used about a third of my hornwort to make a nice tall plant back in the corner to help hide some of the mechanical components of the filter, and to provide the few little shrimp and my soon to have baby guppies because of fish like this one. She's our big lemon tail. She is about to pop. But other than that, that is the new updated tank. Some problems I've had recently. My cory cats, little Serpae cories, have been coming up dead. I've lost 4 altogether, and some of them will appear sluggish prior to dying, and then some of them will be acting fine, and I come in a few minutes later and they're on the bottom of the tank. One of them decided to play dead today, and since nudging him, he has been up and at him for the most part. Another problem I've had is one of my male guppies. I thought he had ick, and then coming back the next day, he looked like he was trying to be an 80s hair metal band, and it was some kind of fungus. I also noticed that he had fin rot on his rear tail, and part of his upper mouth looked like it had been eaten away. Now, none of the other male guppies have shown any signs of fighting, and all the tetras look fine, and I've never noticed any animosity between them. So I don't think he was fighting, but the thing that concerns me is the fungus that was growing on him. Now, I hate that I had to do it, but I went ahead and took him out and euthanized him, because it was just, I couldn't stand to look at him in his but if you can see it on some of the mondo grass, it looks like that same fungus is there, if I can get my camera to focus. So right there. And then in the back, on the tops of one of the dwarf onion right there, it looks like the same type of fungus. Now, I don't know what it's caused by, where it came from. I did not notice any of it until after this past weekend, when I did a lot of this work in here, which I did not have the guppies in here before then, and then took out a lot of the gravel, which I don't think would have affected my cycle, because like I said, the sand stayed. I siphoned it out with a big colander, and you know, all the biological filter in the media, in the filter media, was still there. But it was after I added a bunch of new plants this past weekend, and the guppies, and I got them from a reputable source, so hopefully I didn't get it from there. But tomorrow when I do my 25% water change, I'm going to clean up some of the dead strands of dwarf onion you see back there, replant some stuff that has managed to get away from the ground, and another new addition is I got 4 of those little guys, little assassin snails, and they are cute in a deadly way. But anyways, so that wraps it up for my tank. If y'all have any insight or can help in any way, it would be much appreciated. Some other stats just for information purposes: the temperature has constantly been around 79-80 degrees. I have read that can be a little bit high for the cories. I was in the process of bringing the temperature down about 1 degree a day when I saw what I thought was ick. So I have started treating just in case that was part of what he had. I've taken all my filter media out. I replaced it with cotton balls, essentially, just for a particle filter. It's not taking any chemicals out of the water. And so that's all I've got running in my filter at the point in time. The old filter media is still, it's in a bucket of clean dechlorinated water. I would like some feedback as to whether I can still use that, or whether I should just go ahead and replace that filter media, since it may have some of the fungus bacteria in it. I'm treating it with, I believe it's Aquarisol. Give me just a sec, I can check. Yeah, this stuff, Aquarisol. So, haven't heard anything horrible about it like I have the Melafix and Primafix. And the guys at my local fish store say that it is fine for not so much snails. They didn't say anything specific about that, but the box says that it can hurt snails, so hopefully I won't lose the guys that I just put in there. But and the aquarium's been up and running for about 7 weeks now, 7 or 8. But anyway, so yeah, sorry for the long video, but if you could just give me some feedback and help me out with this, and give me any insider tips, it would be very much appreciated. Thanks.